So, Sonic Booms or Hadoukens? Which is your favorite, Ben?
I was always the electricity guy.
Raiden?
Blanca.
Blanca. Oh gosh. So Ben and I have been talking
Because
about.
that was a Street Fighter reference.
A Street Fighter reference.
Yeah,
yes. Yes, it was. We're talking about fighting games. In case you couldn't tell, I'm Paul.
I'm Ben.
We're Ben and Paul.
Show.
Two good friends reminiscing of old times in the '90s, beating the piss out of each other digitally.
Well, each other. That's a little strong.
What do you mean?
You were always kicking my ass.
Well, come on. I was good at fighting games.
I think
back in the '90s.
There was an afternoon where we literally played Mortal Kombat. I think at least 100 times, and I think I might have won once.
Yeah, probably. That game that's an easy exploitable game, but yeah, I was always pretty good among our friends. One of my favorite stories, and I still love to tell this around these people to give them guff, but we got Street Fighter 2 for the SNES, and we were over at Chad's friend Robin Jair's place, and we were just all playing the game, and then it came my turn. I offered to go last, and once I got the controller, I held it for 50 matches in a row, losing only one round. Not match, one round. And the only reason I eventually did lose was because my hands were cramping, and those jackasses had fleas in their carpet. I didn't know. I looked down, and there's little black specks hopping around on me, and I was like, did you guys release this to make me lose, you bastards?
Oh.
It was horrible. They had a cat in the house.
Time to bug bomb.
Strangest cat. Only had one meow. It was a monotone cat, Ben. I kid you not.
How did that work?
I don't know how it worked. Ring. That was it. That's all he did.
Really?
Yes. You pet the cat. Ring. Kick the cat. Ring. Grab him by his tail. Ring. It didn't matter. Not that I ever kicked a cat or grabbed it by its tail.
I would have.
I'm sure you would have.
Anyway.
I know. Right. I'm not into harming stuff. But
I don't like harming stuff. I just like the idea of tormenting cats.
I didn't mean to insinuate that you were into harming things.
Anyway.
It was a general philosophical statement.
Sure.
Not a pointed accusation.
Gotcha.
Anyway.
So, fighting games, all-time favorite?
All-time favorite is still probably Street Fighter 2.
Really?
Yeah. There's been plenty of other great ones, but
really?
Probably not every iteration of it. I mean, God knows they had enough. There's like 7.
That was the arcade.
Well, yeah, the arcade ones. I like the home versions as well, but the arcade version
was always better.
Well, of course, the boards, the chipsets, the way they were back in those days, you couldn't get, picture perfect at home. It just wasn't going to happen. Not on a SNES, no matter how much, went into those.
Although Mortal Kombat 2, when it came out,
they were
pretty sharp.
Close enough was the best you could hope for. It had enough going on that it made it fun. Did you play the first Mortal Kombat on Genesis or on SNES?
Genesis.
That one's remembered. And, that's the one that had blood. It played for shit, though. That one was
It was
awful.
a little glitchy, yeah.
The response times were awful. It was almost unplayable. The SNES version didn't have blood, but it was fine. It played fine. It played like a Mortal Kombat game. I liked it a lot.
That was the game that did it all, too. That created the rating system.
Yeah, that was the
some parents group somewhere when there's blood. Can you imagine what that same parents group back then would do today?
Oh, I'm sure they've had aneurysms by now. I can't handle Gears of War.
Like foam coming out of the mouth.
Yeah. That's the legacy they provided, though. They gave us the rating system, so thanks to them.
Yeah, thanks.
And the video game industry has the most lauded ratings of any industry, better than any other, as far as adherence to its codes and its whatever. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Acceptance rate and just general usability, I guess. It's constantly praised, and they still constantly strive to make it better. And I think that's great, because that allows if it wasn't, it would all be, family friendly, pablum. It'd be crap.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have Grand Theft Auto if it weren't for the Mortal Kombat's leading the way.
I don't know. we wouldn't have the Grand Theft Auto we have today, probably.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I meant. But yeah.
Okay, sure.
Anyway.
I wasn't correcting you. I just
No, I got you.
Yeah,
I got
okay.
you. No offense, bro. No offense.
Okay. So, my favorite game all time would probably have to just be Mortal Kombat.
I don't blame you there.
In fact, they, I think we've talked about this before. They re-released it, and then I saw they had, they did the whole story from the first installment of the game and the second installment, and they put all that together in one big game, and they added Freddy Krueger of all people. I mean,
though, that was like a dream come true for me.
Yeah.
Because when I was coming up, I loved those movies. I saw them in the theaters, okay? Just to date myself. I saw them all but the first one in the theaters. I saw most of Jason movies in the theaters.
I remember when my sister brought that home on VHS, I was like, oh, man.
Yeah. They seem silly by today's standards, but... You know.
I'll tell you what, that first Nightmare on Elm Street, that
one
still holds up.
It's
man.
creepy as hell. I don't think
he cuts his own finger off, dude.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that's the performance, though. The performance is by Johnny Depp was in it, for God's sake. Look what he went on to do.
Hey, Tina, watch this.
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
Oh boy.
I have a metal Freddy glove.
A real one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, they were selling them. I didn't make it.
You gotta show me that.
I couldn't find it. It's mixed in somewhere with all that. I usually wear it on Halloween because I like to stand out there and clink it, so people know that it's metal.
Ching, ching.
You want some candy, little boy? Clink, clink, clink. But yeah.
Freddy was a child molester.
Well, come on. That's not why we like him.
I just had that realization. Like, it just hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, well,
he was a pedophile. I'm glad he burned.
Yeah, well, of course you are. You should be glad.
Not that he was a good guy after the fact, but,
Well, no. That was a weird thing, though. You look at Jason, his backstory is what? He drowned.
Yeah.
Before that, he was an 8-year-old kid who,
Well, no.
He didn't need a backstory. His
watched
story.
his mom get beheaded.
Yeah. That's the retroactive one, but yeah. Raised in the woods, learned to live like an animal.
Now, was there a Nightmare on Elm Street, or excuse me, Friday the 13th before the movies came out?
No.
Okay.
That whole thing was Sean Cunningham came up with the name. That's it. They had no plot, no anything, and they put a flyer in Vanity Fair looking for investors. Or not an ad, I guess, whatever you call it, advertisement. Friday the 13th, the scariest date on the calendar, and this great, and they started getting calls like, that's a great idea for a movie. Where's your script? I got no script. So they got Victor Miller to write, I still think a really good, really effective, pretty creepy, conceptually anyway, screenplay for it, and the rest is history. It did gangbusters. There were places where it was out selling Star Wars tickets.
Yeah. So now, what happened exactly? Did Jason drown and become...
Well, obviously, if he drowned, he'd be dead. So the implication, once the second movie came around, was that he got out of the water somehow, but was lost in the woods his whole life and grew up there. Found a place to... Figured out how to hunt. Who knows? Raised by wolves, whatever. They don't ever go into any...
Right.
They don't go into any details about it, and you don't need any details about it. He's the psycho who's protecting his area because his mommy died. He's a big mama's boy with a big-ass knife.
As well he should be.
And you can't frickin' kill him because he has regenerative health or some crap. I don't know.
He's got a healing factor, Bob.
He does. Established in the canonical episode 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jason X, the one where he went to space.
I gotta, I'm tempted to sit down and watch every one of those past the fourth one.
Well, for me, they get good at 6. The 1 through 4 is good. 5 doesn't exist. And then 6 is where Jason becomes the uber zombie, and I love it.
So the Muppets take Manhattan, and so did Jason?
I guess. 8's a little silly, but I like 6, 7, 8's still fun, even though it's extremely dumb. 9 makes no damn sense, and they blow him up, and half the time it's not even Jason, but it's like a cookie that you have to wait for, You see the cookie at the beginning of the movie, and then they take the cookie away. And you go, but I want more cookie. Give me back the cookie. And then at the end, when you get the cookie and Jason is there and he's doing his thing and they finally send him to hell, it's just, wow, this makes no damn sense, but I love it. And then they send him into space like crazy. And then a freaking reboot, because that's what this decade's about.
Yeah.
Freaking reboots to things that don't need rebooting.
Because we can't come up with anything original.
Let me tell you this one, though. They were talking about, and I'm glad this hasn't happened, they were talking about doing one of those found footage style films about Jason as the next proper sequel. Which just, I don't have anything against found footage films. I think they can be effective. I don't particularly like them because the conceit that I have to capture everything. People need to know.
Kind of like, damn, what's that movie?
Blair Witch, Paranormal Activity.
Something Filled.
Cloverfield.
Yeah.
I hated Cloverfield.
Really?
Oh, God, yeah.
Except for the camera that never runs out of battery.
No, not even that.
Really?
I'll take the camera with the 24-hour battery. Sure.
Yeah.
Like those exist. But they probably do. Probably sounded like an ass to people who really know cameras. Well, let me push up my hipster glasses and correct you. But at least then we'd have a comment.
Yeah.
All that, I don't care. The monster in that is stupid as hell. Have you seen the monster?
Yeah.
Look, he walks on his knuckles. No.
Okay, he's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex dipped in hell.
Whatever. He's a reject from an H.P. Lovecraft
who
novel
like
that didn't
shoots
sell.
little mini persons of himself, and
yeah, those little ones were exciting and cool though. Those were scary. Big dumb monster. It looked stupid. The monster looked stupid. I didn't think it was very effective at all. The little ones were scary as hell. That scene in the tunnel when they're going through there and all of a sudden they're being attacked and it's pitch black. That was effective as hell. Yeah. And then everything else was just stupid and awful, and I hated it. Did not like that movie. Sorry, I get on a rant about it.
Oh, Paul.
Yes, Ben.
Fighting games.
Yeah. Which all sparked because we were talking about Killer Instinct, which is coming back on the Xbox. By the time this goes up, it'll be out in the wild. People will have played it. I will have played it.
Killer Instinct. Yeah.
But as of time of recording, Xbox is still.
I used to do pretty good as Saberwolf.
Mm-hmm. Go on, tell me more. Did you like the howl? Well, you'll be happy to know, Ben, that Saberwolf is one of the launch 6 characters for the new Killer Instinct.
So how is that working? So
it's a neat model. It's something different, and I applaud him for trying something different. You get Jago for free.
So you don't get to pick your free guy?
No.
Oh.
You get Jago for free. Anyone can play it, download it, whatever. I don't know. They may have a rotating system like they do with like a League of Legends or something. But on day one, when people open up their Xbox, they will be able to hop in and play some Killer Instinct should they choose to. I'm eager. Man, I haven't gotten a chance to use the Xbox One controller, and I really love the 360 controller. It's been my favorite ever, even above the SNES, which is blasphemy to some probably, but I just think it's a well-designed piece of equipment.
Have
you even used one?
An Xbox?
Yeah.
I've
a 360 specifically.
Yeah, I've played it. I've played one.
Because there are valid complaints about the original Xbox controller. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it.
Really? They seem similar to me.
Well, they were bigger, and the sticks were longer, which made difference in precision. The button layout was a little weird for a lot of people. I understand why people have criticisms about the Duke and the S-Type, but the 360 controller is pretty freaking perfect. There's just not much you can improve on it, and I'm eager to see what they did with the feedback being in the buttons. Apparently, some of the stuff I've been hearing about Forza sounds like they've done some really neat stuff with that. Like, if you're about to lose traction on your car, it'll really start shaking up in the triggers, and it sounds really neat. I'm eager to get it. But that's getting off topic. Back to Killer Instinct. 6 characters at launch, 5 returning characters, and 1 new one who's a Spider-Woman. I don't know. Whatever.
All right, so... But you don't get all the characters up front. You have to buy them?
If you want them that way. You can just buy the game. For like 40 maybe, or 60, I don't know. You can
but
just
you
buy
have
the
to
game.
play as the one free character.
No. You can. Anyone who has an Xbox can. This is the downside. Is it's confusing because they have a model that will accommodate anyone but I don't know how they're going to track this sales data. Anyone who wants to can download the character, which is the game, essentially. You can play him online. You can play his single-player tutorials or whatever. Or, if you want, you can buy it as a disc product. It comes with all the stuff. There's a special edition that comes with a stick. Or you can buy them digitally piecemeal one at a time. If you just want Jago and Saberwolf, you can just download those and just play them online. It's a neat model. It's interesting to see someone trying something new, at least. Even if it fails, it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what's going on with that.
That's interesting.
And it looks good. And I've been hearing good buzz from, like, fighting game fans. There's Jeff Gershman at Giant Bomb. I mean, he's been reviewing games since, like, 96, I think. He's pleasantly surprised is what he said in his quick look. So, I mean, he's a big Mortal Kombat fan, and I don't know if he likes Street Fighter or not. But
well, on that note, what do you think the future of fighting games are? I mean, because I think after a while, I mean, the current status quo is you pick a guy, I pick a guy, and we beat each other up, and that's always kind of been the basis.
No, that's
but
not.
Where do you think?
Right now, the big thing in fighting games is the tournament scene. I mean, those have gotten huge over the
What do you
last few
mean,
years.
like
Evo? Do you watch anything about Evo?
Every now and again, I might catch it.
I watch. Not faithfully, religiously, but I do like to. Whenever Evo's up, I like to catch as many matches as I can on Twitch. It's fun. I just enjoy it. There's a few streamers I watch that do Injustice or Mortal Kombat or something like that.
I want to see more. I would like to see more of Injustice.
I love seeing someone put together a really great string of combos that I can't do. So that's fun for me. It's great entertainment. I think we'll see more of them leaning into that tournament level, I think.
Well, now, when you say tournament, I'm confused by that.
Evo tournament every year in Las Vegas.
So it's kind of like a World Series of fighting games or something?
Kind of. I mean, they have regional tournaments, too. I don't know. I think anyone can pay the entrance fee to go to Evo. I don't know if there's any qualifiers or whatever. It's just a big old fighting game nerd-off, heaven, nirvana on earth. just like-minded people just having fun with their games. And celebrities, people have reached almost celebrity status coming up through there. There are a bunch of great clips. This dude named Daigo a few years ago on Street Fighter 3 did some really amazing move that, like, everyone knows about this move. So it's the Evo moment, what a lot of people talk about. I get a little depressed if I talk too much about fighting games because I just can't play them the way I used to. I was a monster in the arcades in the 90s, and now my crappy old fingers just won't move fast enough.
Sorry, man.
Oh, no, it's what it is, I can enjoy it through them, too, but if I watch it too long, I start like, man, I want to play, too, and then I'll try to play Street Fighter 4, and I'm just getting clobbered.
When you used to...
Called a noob by a kid who wasn't born when I played Street Fighter 2 the first time.
There was a move I used to do whenever you beat me for like the millionth time at Mortal Kombat. Yeah, and I would look at my remote and just grab it and kind of go, and do the whole monkey thing, and then begin to chew on the, as if I really shouldn't have a controller in my hands to begin with.
There wasn't much difference on my end, but I was still thankful for the company.
Thanks. Oh.
I'm not going to apologize for being good at the game.
No, you shouldn't.
Because I played the shit out of them, practiced them, learned them, and loved them. Still do. I don't remember.
I'll put in. I haven't done it lately because of certain releases of certain games, which I'm not going to mention right now.
Thank you.
For fear of derailment. But I tell you, I wouldn't be opposed to just turn it on right now.
Oh, you know what? I bought that Injustice.
The full on?
I bought the full pack for my Vita.
Ooh, yeah. What's that like?
It's fun. It's a blast. It's the same game, essentially. You got a little bit of change up because you can't, click the sticks, and there's only 2 buttons, but they make it work. It's fine. You tap the back screens for, I don't remember which moves now. I'm the type who zones in so completely, I couldn't even tell you what buttons I'm hitting. I know what move is, where my thumb needs to go, but I don't. Someone asked me, how did you do that move? I did the move.
I may take the game that I have because I want all the DLC.
Right. Now, have you bought a lot of it, though? Piecemeal here, piecemeal there?
Yeah.
Well, the new collected edition has it all. All the costumes, like 56
That's
costumes.
what I'm talking about.
And all 5 or 6 or however many downloadable characters there's been. I don't honestly remember.
I think there's like 8. Let's count them.
Let's do the math. Lobo.
Okay. Yeah.
Martian Manhunter. Scorpion. Son of Jor-El, kneel before Zod.
Yes.
And Zatanna.
Uh-huh.
That's 5.
Batgirl.
Batgirl, 6. Is it just 6? We said Martian Manhunter already. I think it's just the 6. Because they did the season pass of 4.
Who was in the 4? There was Scorpion, Batgirl,
Zod,
and
Lobo. And then they also did Martian Manhunter. That's 5.
And then they came out with
Zatanna.
Yeah. I think that's
that's
it,
right? Yeah, 6.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy.
But they've got all the costumes and everything on there, and each one is like $2.99, and I'm just like...
Let me ask you this. Have you seen Man of Steel?
Mm-mm.
I watched that this last week.
Yeah?
I bought the Blu-ray when it came out.
Like it, love it?
If you can switch your brain off and just accept it as a spectacle, it's fantastic.
I can do that.
Then you can enjoy it. If you stop and think about it too long, it all falls apart, and it doesn't really feel like Superman. But if you just watch it and just get into the moment, boy, it's exciting. And I got to say, I am shocked to hear myself say these words, but Michael Shannon's Zod is fantastic.
Can you give me a second? I need to dress up for this one.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to get my black robe on and my really funny looking hat with my curls coming down. Okay, you ready?
Shoot.
Hey, Paul, would you mind if I borrowed your DVD there so I don't have to pay for it?
Of course, you can borrow my DVD.
Or your Blu-ray.
No, I'll loan you the DVD.
Come on. I want the Blu-ray. I don't want to... Sorry. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, fighting games, I mean, I just don't think there's any end to the love that we're going to have
for
them.
I keep telling myself...
Keep cranking out what they've been doing lately.
I keep telling myself, you're not going to buy the next one, Paul. You're not going to do it because you know you can't play them well, and it's just going to upset you when some 12-year-old beats your ass. And I buy it anyway. I bought stupid Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and I bought Marvel vs. Capcom, which I've never liked.
That's a rough game.
Well, okay. I gotta represent for my man Frank West though. When they put him in it, that's when I bought the game. So represent. Represent for the Frank. He covered wars, you know.
Hey, well.
That's the big line in the game. Never mind.
Wars need to be covered.
They do.
So no one can see them.
And, right on.
I'm just whatever.
That was a weird little aside. We're getting close to 25 minutes, so we should probably wrap this up. Fighting games, kids. Play them, buy them, love them. Become part of the fighting game community. It is worth the dedication and the time.
Yeah, if it's a good one.
Well, and...
They're good uns and bad uns.
They're basically good people. I mean, everyone I've known from the fighting game community has been a pretty swell dude, you know, to pull a term from the 1950s. Leave it to Beaver. I don't know really any jerks. They're out there. Of course they're out there. They're in every community. But with my experience with the fighting game community has been welcoming and inviting, and even getting back into it has been encouraging. They're like, man, if you loved it in the 90s, come back now. And I'm like, I want to. It's been good. Big love for the fighting game community.
Yeah, definitely. And
the games that they, play. PlayStation 4 official console of Evo. I read that somewhere. I don't know if it's true.
Anyway. All right, well...
D-pad's better for it. I would play my fighting games
I'm a
on
D-pad.
the PlayStation 2. I know you are, D-bag. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for listening, everybody. Ben?
I'm a Plus member.
Right on.
All right, well, you know what to do. Like, love, and respect, and do all that stuff.
Right
There
on.
should be a respect button on YouTube.
There should be a respect button. Because
Respect.
I don't really like you, but I respect you.
Yeah.
I respect you for
There should
doing
be a
it.
respect. Get on
Like, dislike, respect.
Get on that YouTube.
And
So there is obviously a cluster of just things to say about this respect button YouTube. So anyway,
get on it.
snap.
Thanks for listening, folks.
Yeah, have fun. Peace.